much and risk the fact that the game could run away from them or the tie could run away from them. So while these two teams are incredible, wonderful quality individually and as a team unit, we could be seeing a game that perhaps is a little bit scrappy, not too entertaining at times, but it will still be a really good football match, if that makes sense, because I think there's a lot more to a football game than just goals. Yes, we'd love to see lots of goals, but I think there'll be lots of things to look at and analyze and study throughout these 90 minutes or so.
We had good periods, didn't we, yesterday?
Yeah.
Singapore and Indonesia. Indonesia largely controlling the first half, Singapore fighting back in the second. It'll be fascinating to see how these two sides approach it as they line up now for the national anthems. And I can tell you there's a very, very good crowd here from both nations. Coming into the stadium this evening, there was a sea of red peppering the stands. Fantastic atmosphere as we look at the lineups here for Vietnam, and they make a number of changes, 5 to be exact, from the team that thrashed Cambodia in the last group game. In comes the goalkeeper Tran Nguyen Man. Nguyen Van Tuan, the forward, is also in the squad, in the team today. Nguyen Tuan An, Nguyen Tan Chung, and Vu Van Tan. And they're going with their usual 3-4-3 that has served them so well since Park Hang-seo has taken charge. The players that make way: Bui Tan Trung, the goalkeeper; Ho Tan Tai, the defender; Pham Van Duk, perhaps a bit of a surprise; Nguyen Tuan Lin, Nguyen Tian Lin, of course, scored a couple of goals in that last match, but he gets dropped to the bench. No place there for Bui Tian Duk. There are the two skippers, different in stature, but certainly Roshan, two fine players.
Wonderful players, and Chanatip as well, Notaman there, number 18, playing at a very high level in Japan, and playing regularly over there, contributing solidly to Hokkaido Consadole Sapporo. And then coming here, and when you look at him play in this competition, it's like he's got so much time on the ball. He's a class apart, isn't he? Chanatip against Quang Hai, a big battle to keep an eye on tonight.
Well, it's very easy to tell you what's happened here with Thailand. They have made a complete change from the team that beat Singapore in the last group game of Group A. All 11 of this side have come back in, the first 11 as it were, and they're playing that diamond, aren't they, with Chanatip at the tip of it. All the good things will pass through him. Supachok and Terison Dunda leading the line there. Tirison, of course, the all-time leading goal scorer of this tournament now with 19 goals, and he's got 4 to his name in this edition alone. As we see here, there's pretty much the squad or the team that played against Singapore on the bench. But Roshan, so much talent available there, as we clearly saw in that last group game.
Yeah, it's scary, the quality of players that they have, the players that are coming through. Wonderful options for Manopolking.
So the players just gathering around the centre circle. You can see there one of the taglines of this tournament, emerging stronger together. We're going to have a moment of remembrance here for family, friends, colleagues, and every person who has passed on due to COVID-19. Reminder that this tournament was postponed twice because of COVID-19, and in the end, the organisers had to settle for a centralised venue here in Singapore. Saud Al Adba of Qatar is in charge of this one. Could be a feisty affair, Roshan. These two have got a lot of history, haven't they? And there's a lot at stake, though this is the first leg of 2.
Yeah, they've forgotten who's supposed to be kicking off. There's a bit of discussion there. I think they've had a bit of confusion over the coin toss, and it's finally been decided that Vietnam have won that coin toss. Park Hang-seo, what a job he's done with this international side. And Manopolking, who's just come in, obviously different in terms of the amount of time they've been with their respective sides. But Polking, you can see a clear identity, clear way that he wants his team to play. He's blessed with some wonderful talent and some wonderful quality that he's been able to call upon, and it's the same for Vietnam. Such a strong squad. 10 seconds away from kickoff, and I just wanted to, you mentioned this competition has been postponed twice, and I just got a few goosebumps there, because you're thinking about the people who we sometimes get lost. We don't have that perspective of just how unimportant football can be at times. You get sucked into this, and we forget to remember the people who work incredibly hard out there, the frontliners who have done such an incredible job, and the medical workers and the people who've come up with wonderful things like vaccines and things like that, which have allowed us to move forward as a society. And it's brilliant to see that we've had this competition now, and that we've come together as a region.
Yeah, it really has galvanized the region, hasn't it, this tournament. Just seeing there some of the statistics. Far more shots by Thailand in this tournament so far. We have got one of the best attacks, not the best attack though, that belongs to Indonesia, against the best defense. They haven't conceded yet in this tournament. Thailand, Roshan, have got a 100% win record though, so it's all set up really nicely, isn't it?
It is set up really nicely. I was asked a question by a Vietnamese reporter in the build-up to this game. Do you see it as the best attack against the best defense? I said no, as you see the offside flag go up here early on. I said no, I actually see this as a game between two really well-balanced sides. And I really dislike that cliche of, attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. Because, you just see as it gets flicked on here, he is just offside there, Super Chop. I think it's balance that wins you titles. It's the most well-balanced teams in competitions that go on and win titles, because you've got to score those goals, but you also have to have a structure and a way of keeping opposition sides out.
Talking of that, is there a little bit of a concern with how Vietnam have kind of gone about things? They've perhaps struggled a little bit on the attacking side. They've had a lot of the ball, but have they created enough opportunities? We saw that they struggled to break down. That goes out of play. They struggled to break down Laos, who played a very flat back five, as it were. They couldn't score against Indonesia, and against Cambodia they needed goals, Roshan, and when they knew the equation that they needed an extra goal to go top of the table, they couldn't get that goal. They even had 3 forwards on for the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I think we saw them. It was 4-0, wasn't it, that game against Cambodia? I think what really sort of hurt them in the end was not being able to really punish Laos in the first game. And I think that's what really hurt them. But look, it doesn't really matter. I think, you know, they would have perhaps come up against Thailand at some point in this competition. I know lots of people, when they were looking at this tournament in the preview and the build-up to it, were thinking, well, these are two of the best sides in Southeast Asia at the moment, and probably the favorites to go through and meet in the final instead. Vietnam having to pay for the fact that they've not scored enough goals in their group, and instead of meeting Thailand perhaps in the final, they've met them in the semi. So let's see what happens over the two legs.
I think it just opens up this tournament, doesn't it? Just makes it clear that it's not all one-way traffic, as perhaps everyone would have you believe.
Well, I'm just noticing a tweak tactically here for Vietnam. Normally, when you see Quang Hai in this side, he starts out on the right-hand side, but he seems to have started on the left here for Vietnam. So they're not playing with those inverted players. Normally, it'd be Van Tuan, the number 9.
It's a decent ball, isn't it? To Supachok. Nguyen Man was quick off his line there to grab hold of the ball.
A wonderful defense-splitting pass right here from Thirathon, and that's one of the reasons why he drifts infield in the build-up for Thailand. You know, he came under a little bit of criticism from one of the analysts back home, who accused him of being a player who doesn't play for the team, which I think it was poorly worded, and I think that analyst came out to say that, you know, to apologize for it. Thirathon I'm talking about, in terms of, you know, dropping in from that left-hand side and playing in the middle and perhaps leaving themselves exposed.
Straight at Chak Chai from Nguyen Quang Hai, as you said, playing on that left-hand side for now.
Yeah, heavy collision here between Thirasin and Tuan An.
I have to say that that match yesterday between Singapore and Indonesia was punctuated by a number of challenges. Some of them might have been a bit lucky to escape a red here. Nothing really of the sort in this instance, Roshan.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with this. I think both players going up to challenge for that ball.
Oh, that's a yellow card.
Oh, it's just
early on from the referee.
I'm not sure he deserved the yellow there, Tuan An. Bit unfortunate. I think both Thirasin and Tuan An were going with their boots raised in that situation.
Well, looked a bit surprised by that, but he just got on with it. Here's Supachok. Listen to that noise in the crowd. Going by Nokai. Supachok again. He's seen a lot of the ball. Still Supachok. There's Nokai in the way. Tuan having a go, saying that was a foul by Pitiwat, and of course Polking disagrees.
Well, there was something going on off the ball as well between Kong Fung and Kritsada as well. Let's have a look at this. You know, Van Tuan looks to try and turn and sprint away. It's a bit of a cynical challenge from Pitiwat. He knows exactly what he's doing. There was an opportunity for Vietnam to break forward. And I mean, look, if he's saying he got the ball, but it's a challenge from behind, it's a late one as well. And if the ref booked Tuan An very early on, I'm surprised Pitiwat actually got away with that then.
Kritsada away by Thirathon. Already being played at a good pace this match. Nokai. Scored by Hong Duk. Referee is going to stop play here. Let's hope this is not going to be the pattern of play here. Supachok is down.
Yeah, he's looked very lively early on, Supachok. And again, it's just a coming together. Nokai, you know, if you've been watching Southeast Asian football for a while, you know all about Nokai and how he loves to be very strong in his challenges. He's uncompromising. But, you know, with Thailand under Alexander Polking, they love to go out and attack the opposition. They wanted to really stamp their authority. So you know what you're going to get from them. And for Vietnam, from their perspective, it almost kind of suits them in the sense, because they'll be quite happy to sit back and invite that pressure a little bit. And then we know they have the pace going forward to hit Thailand on the counters.
Paul King had said, of course we're going to attack. When he was asked that question, no reason for me to change my philosophy. He said he knew that Vietnam was strong in the transitions phase and they're going to try and defend well, but he was very conscious of the fact they have yet to concede. And he also pointed out that Vietnam have scored in every group stage game so far, which is something that Vietnam cannot boast. So he said, stay calm and be aware of counterattacks.
That would have been drilled into his team before this game. You know, watch out for Vietnam in those transitions, in those counter-attacking situations. Make sure that when we are attacking, that they've got players in position.
Away by Tiraton to Superchok, who was fouled. Arms in the air from Paul King.
They want, even in possession of the ball, they want players in position defensively in case they do lose it, and Vietnam are looking for that quick counter-attack. Zoyman all over the back of Superchok.
There's Tiraton. Always slipped over as he went to take that free kick. Ball out there. Antoine leaving the line this evening, remember. That looked to be a foul by Gongfeng. Preferred today ahead of Tianlin. What did you make of that, Russian? Because Tianlin's not really nailed down a starting place, is he, in this tournament?
You see Tiraton getting to the ball ahead of Gongfeng. I think generally Gongfeng tends to start a few more matches than Tianlin. They're two quite different players. I think Tianlin's a little bit more direct, pacier than Gongfeng. Gongfeng's very intelligent sort of player who can drop off a little bit as well and link up with his midfielders if he needs to.
Out towards Chanatip on that right-hand side for Thailand. Tanawat to Sadat Chuyen. He wanted the ball. There's a bit of a gesture there, wasn't there, from Tiraton? Never got to him. Here's Manuel Beer. Now Kritsada.
This is the fluidity that Thailand have in midfield when they set up in that 4-diamond-2. You got Pitiwat just holding his position, the base of that midfield, and then Tanawat, Sarat and Chanatip is allowed to drift around into different positions, occupy different spaces.
Back with Thailand, they've regained possession quickly. Tirasin. Pitiwat. Haven't seen much yet from Narubadin on that right-hand side, who's been one of their top performers in this tournament. Kritsada out to Tirasin. I'm not sure how you describe that one, Russian.
Yeah, it's going to be down to Narubadin to control things down that right-hand side, pretty much all on his own. His responsibility is to be that right back and the right winger at the same time. In the possession phase, he's got to get himself advanced, hugging the touchline. Because they don't have a natural right winger, and this is in the system that they play. They don't have a natural left winger as well. So Tiraton on the left-hand side, Narubadin on the right-hand side. But Tiraton's role is quite different to Narubadin's. Just see Saras taking out Tuan An. Quite a physical contest, especially in these midfield positions. Few strong challenges coming in early on.
Narubadin 3 assists already in this tournament. 4 of the 10 goals have come from their fullbacks. From those areas anyway, in terms of leading up to goals, assists. They've been very good with the width. There'll be a free kick here.
Quang Hai just looking to protect the ball, looking to shield it, and nobody feels a bit of contact from Narubadin behind him. He feels that contact goes down. The referee's going to give a free kick in those situations. Just perhaps got sucked into it a little bit, Narubadin.
There he is, Narubadin. Only goal that Thailand have conceded thus far is against the Philippines. That was off a defensive error by Manuel Beer. Referee telling everyone to cut it out inside the box. Here's Konfong. Gone short, Quang Hai into that sea of blue in front of him. Still alive here for Vietnam. Haven't really seen them get this far forward yet in the match. And Tirason does his defensive duties. Now on the break here, look at that from Chanatik. Oh, it had to be a better ball. Bit of unlucky there for Vietnam. And that will make its way in, will it? Yes, it does. A comedy of errors, really, at both ends. But all that matters is that Thailand have opened the scoring here.
Well, I don't know how Vietnam have left themselves exposed like that on the counter. I spoke about Thailand making sure they were protecting themselves on the counter-attacks. Vietnam seem to have just forgotten about Thailand's possible threat on the counter-attacks of their own. I mean, he's just fallen over the ball there, Hong Zui. And then the goalkeeper is unfortunate. Win Man, he comes out quickly and it just rebounds off Chanatip, ends up in the back of the net. I mean, as you said, it's a comedy of errors there defensively has resulted in the opener for Thailand. And for all the quality that we spoke about from these two sides coming into this, we spoke about the quality as individuals, the quality as a team, and then you go on and get a goal like that.
Absolutely, you're the best defensive side. You haven't conceded, and the first time you do so is a little bit of a farcical one, but they don't care, and neither does he. The Thai skipper has given his country the lead here. What a fantastic counter-attack, but that pass from Thanawat as well. Had that goal not gone in, how angry would his teammates have been with it?
I think Kamara would have been jumping around on the touchline. He was jumping around celebrating, but you know, I thought that was a simple clearance for Hong Zui, the number 7. To be fair, I mean, he was left all on his own to manage that counter-attacking situation.
But it was right at him as well.
It was right at him. Thailand, to their credit, how quickly they got themselves forward into advanced positions. This is not good, no. To see Supachop having to leave the pitch after that heavy knock to his knee. Had such a bright start as well.
Roshan, we were watching off the ball, weren't we? The way he accelerated Chanatip.
Yeah, that's right.
Just racing down, and there was absolutely no one there in front of him.
I mean, the pass from Thanawat was, I was thinking, oh, such a waste, because there was a huge opportunity. It was a 3-on-1. And then, of course, Hong Zui goes on to miss.
Wow.
And then I think the goalkeeper's going to get it. Win Man. It's unfortunate for him. He just rebounds off Chanatip and ends up in goal.
Well, that will be looked at again and again, I'm sure, for all the various stages that led to that goal. What counts most, of course, and there looked to be a foul by Tiraton. Oh, and that... they're asking for the card, aren't they? Antoine was furious.
Yeah, I think they're well within their rights to ask for the card here, you know. He's done really well. Vantuan, Tiraton's trying 1, 2, 3 times to take him down. Vantuan tries to get up and keep going, and he actually does. Take your pick there, referee.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I'm surprised he's not been booked.
Well, we looked at 3 fouls from Tiraton. Quang Hai floats that in. They want to get back into this as soon as possible, Vietnam. Quang Hai again. It's a delightful ball in. Oh, there is Manuel Beer. Before Huang Duc could wait for it to come down and take the shot.
Who was it who was saying it could be a KG contest?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, it was me. Absolute nonsense.
Roshan, this has got shades of that Malaysia-Indonesia game, hasn't it? That kind of atmosphere, the kind of football we're seeing, end-to-end stuff.
Wonderful tempo.
Flicked across the goal. Well, they looked vulnerable there, didn't they, Thailand? And the danger's not over yet. Pearson's had more touches, I think, in the defensive third. And he has 4 going forward. Well, what a ball that is to his strike partner, Supachop. A little bit too much on it. Vietnam come right back at Thailand. Quang Hai. He's come back onto this right-hand side, hasn't he?
Yeah, just for the moment. Let's move back into a position where we normally see him try and get onto his left-hand side from these areas. Lovely touch.
Control. Now, he's gone down right in front of the assistant, who didn't flinch at all, claiming there was a foul on him now. It's just going to add some spice to this. Now, the yellow card has been shown to Polking.
Well, Park Hang-seo, the entire bench, it's all happening here. Park Hang-seo has gone over there. He's trying to calm things down himself. He's apologizing to the Thai bench. He's just not high. Well, first time I think I've really seen a smile from Park Hang-seo. But okay, have a look at this one. The first one here, Quang Hai, looking to skip past Teraton. There's an arm out, happens right in front of the assistant there. He thinks, okay, nothing wrong with that. Super chop goes down. Have a look at this. Okay, I thought it connected with his face.
I think,
but still,
Polking took exception to, right?
Yeah,
it said something. Listen, we don't want to condone any of this, but it's just adding to the whole feistiness of the
really?
affair.
I don't mind it at all.
Oh, it's so cynical.
I'm enjoying it. I love it.
It is what we expected from Vietnam, Thailand. Perhaps more in the second leg than the first, but this has been a great 20 minutes or so on the clock. Quang Hai back on the left. Oh, he's up for it, isn't he, today? Quang Hai. Bong Hong Tui. Too much on that ball. Now, you can see Mano Polking, by the way, just off your shot here. Here he is. He's still clarifying about, I think, the yellow card, the foul. A few things that might be on his mind.
Yeah, I think he's looking to put a bit of pressure on the officials as well. He's trying to say, look, you said I stepped out of my technical area. Look at the Vietnamese bench. You know, have a look at them as well. I love it, you know, when coaches get involved.
He charged into it. He charged from one technical area to the other.
What I love about this is we're seeing it from Polking protecting his players. We've also seen it from Park Hang-seo.
Yeah.
And I've seen it in the World Cup qualifiers as well. And especially go back to this particular game against Malaysia, where he squared up to one of the Malaysian players after a late challenge.
He gives no quarter, Park Hang-seo, and that's, I think, what's really endeared him as well to the Vietnamese people. Here is Pitiwat.
You know, I tell you what it does as well for a player to see a coach having your back like that. You know, it really gives you a boost on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know that he's one of you. You know, he's part of the team, and you know, if anything happens, he's got your back. Now, he might be screaming at you in the locker room at half-time behind closed doors, but you know, publicly, you know, he's there to support you.
Yeah, it was interesting in his final training session today. He did things a little bit differently. Talk about that in a minute here. Chap-chai quick to the ball. The whole team gathered around the coach and his staff as they were analysing the style of play that they're going to use today. And they watched some analysis. But we addressed the team a little bit differently as they come forward with Kong Fo. So normally he only spends a few minutes at the end, but today he spent a lot more time with them. This was something that was noticed by the Vietnamese media who were in attendance. And I think, Roshan, the difference is this is a tournament they're expected to win, unlike the World Cup qualifiers where they know they go in as the overwhelming underdog. Here, the overwhelming favourite. It's a very different mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Certainly is a very different mindset. And even their setup in this competition, and compare that to their setup in the World Cup qualifiers, very different as well. Here's
Pitiwat. I'll come back to that mindset thing in a minute, because Park Hang-seo has talked about it a fair bit, about how he needed to spend a bit of time psychologically. Here come Thailand. Lovely return ball! What a goal that is! Fantastic from Chanatip. But it was the build-up as well. That was so impressive.
Oh, wonderful goal from Thailand. What a goal! They dominate the center of the pitch. In that situation, Chanatip, have a look at his movement and how he pulls Ngok Hai out of position. Just playing on the tip of that midfield diamond for Thailand. He just pulls out, draws Ngok Hai along with him. And Tirasin as well. I mean, the position that he takes up for that give and go. Both of those central defenders, those Vietnamese central defenders, get drawn out with them. And then Sarach just makes sure he's on hand to provide that supporting pass, that assist into Chanatip. That's a fine finish. Now that properly reflects the quality that we were talking about.
Chanatip, 2 goals, both in this match. Thailand have a good grip on this match now. 2 goals inside 25 minutes. Don't think many people would have predicted that coming into this game. But there's a long, long way to go. And Roshan, this was the best defense coming in. They've been taken apart in 2 very different ways so far for both the goals.
Yeah, one on a counter-attack, and here in a build-up, in a possession phase where they've just passed the ball around. No, I can't get over that goal. It's just brilliant the way they just zipped it along. They were patient until that right opportunity came along where Chanatip just peeled off that forward line, dropped in a little bit deeper, dragged Ngok Hai along with him. And Tirasin's position as well. He took Tan Chung along with him, so that left that space in behind for a quick give and go.
Well, I'm sure we'll have more replays of that goal later on, and Roshan will take us through that to illustrate further what he's saying.
Yeah, it really is one of those goals where I wish we had like a studio with an analysis board here, and I could do these little drawings with the lovely arrows. I know there are people out there who absolutely hate that, but
what people aren't seeing is Roshan was highlighting it to me on the screen with his fingers and almost moving it around. Tiraton, by the way, there is a confirmation of the yellow card. I think we perhaps didn't see that earlier, but that was for that earlier offence, which was the right call.
Yeah, you just have a look here as well. Supachok, you know, he started up front with Tirasin, but he moves out to this left-hand side, and Chanatip, as I said, playing on the top of that midfield diamond. Because he's given that freedom to roam around, it's very difficult for that Vietnam defense to pick him up. And here we see Tiraton moving into a central position once again.
Just lost his footing there, Tirasin making that run. I think he would have made it there anyway. But this is certainly unsettled Vietnam, and this is something they're not used to at this level. He's being behind, conceding goals, certainly not in this tournament. When we look at how they were in the last edition, we didn't concede in the group stages as well in 2018, scored 8. Foul there on Tiraton by Van Tan. They started to concede goals in the semi-finals and finals in the last edition, and they're certainly doing it here as well again. And Roshan, you know, you cast your mind back to 2018. Thailand didn't bring their strongest team, did they? They rested. They didn't bring the likes of Chanatip and Tiraton, Kawin. Well, now,
just have a look at this. I mean, the first pass from Kritsada here is wonderful. A centre-back with the capacity and the vision to play that sort of pass, that line-breaking pass that pretty much gets it past that Vietnamese midfield. And then Chanatip dropping off, the timing of the run to meet that, And then the timing of the link up between himself and Tirasin. The movement was just wonderful.
Tiraton with the corner. No real danger yet. There's Kritsada being chased down. They asked for handball, none given. Van Tan. That's just a bit too much on that ball for Van Tuan.
That's really, really well defended by Sarat.
Overhit across easy for Kritsada. Look who it is. Chanate. Kongfong just fouling him. Yeah, Ross, just that point I was making was I think they realised the mistake of not bringing their strongest squad. They lost out in the semi-finals, of course, Thailand. And they want to get back to the top of the tree, don't they? At least in this region.
Yeah, they certainly do. And, you know, you can see what a big difference it makes to their squad when the likes of Chanatip are available. And Tiraton comes in and plays for them. And one of the difficulties for Mano Polking was, I'll come back to that, just to have a look at how this develops.
You can see the ball from Tiraton, arrowing it into, looking for at least Tirasin.
I think it's so important for Mano. He didn't have much time with this Thai squad, so it was important for him to be able to call up experienced players, and that was what he was looking at and looking to do. Quality and that experience, because you see that possession numbers there. Thailand dominating the ball and dominating the game as well, you know, scoring those 2 goals. Because he knew that, you know, he's not going to get that much time to sort of impart his ideas, impart his tactics. He needs players in there who know what it's all about. He needs the quality of players who can pick up on these things really quickly. And there was some talk about, oh, perhaps he should have called up a couple of younger players, this player, that player. I think it's always easy from the outside to say these things, you know, but coaches really, they're living it. At the end of the day, they make these decisions and their head's on the chopping block.
Yep.
So you might as well make the decisions that you want to make.
That's what he gets paid for, right?
That's what he gets paid for, and you know, good for him that it's working out well at the moment.
Here's Van Tan. He's got Tiraton on him. In by Tuanan. There's frustration in this side at the moment. Van Tuan just having a word with the referee.
Corner for Vietnam here. Another point I wanted to make about Mano Polking coming in as a new coach. When you come in to these competitions, you just see a replay of this here. You can see it comes off Narubadin, goes out for a corner. You know that if you end up winning the Suzuki Cup, you get given a lot of time and you become an instant hero.
It's true.
And in coaching, you win things, you get given time, and that is crucial for you.
Kongfong with the corner. Chachai went down quite dramatically there. He made a very clear statement, didn't he, Roshan, when he got appointed? I am bringing the trophy back home. As we see Chachai there. He made no bones about it. He wasn't even going to say, let's hope we can do it, we'll try our best. He made a very bold, clear statement.
Yeah.
We're taking this home.
It's refreshing to hear. You know, normally coaches, they tend to play safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll see what we can do. We'll see how the boys do in these competitions. And again, wonderful. It's just a shame that Chanatip couldn't take that under control, but it was a really good goal kick out. Just the positioning that they have, the setup that they have in possession here, Thailand.
Look at that. Look at that from the skipper of Thailand to win the ball back. Absolutely brilliant. It is back with the Vietnamese now, but he has been spectacular this evening. Vietnam have about 15 minutes or so in this first half with some added time to try get back into this. Kritsada with the foul. There's lots of discussion going on, by the way. Yeah, there you go.
Clear one, isn't it? I mean, Kutsara, it's just...
Yeah, there's lots and lots of chat going on. There we go. These guys having a big chat. Park Hang-seo and his team. I wonder if he's going to do something dramatic. Quang Hai standing over the ball with Kong Fung.
Yeah, you can't believe the amount of respect I have for coaches in these situations, in the dugout, leading these top international teams, the Southeast Asian level, what they're thinking, what the thought process is like, you know.
Kong Fung! Oh, that's come off the window. What a brilliant free kick. Quang Hai, excuse me. The left foot of Quang Hai. I'm getting overexcited. Quickly distributed by Chachai. I wonder whether he got a touch on that. We'll see in the replay. He got the pass away. Tirasin. Here's Supachok. Now Chanatip. I was looking to just slip that in to Tanawat.
It looks like a yellow card for Narubadin. Just here, Hong Duk. Yeah, it is Narubadin with the first contact. Free kick was given for that. Yellow card for him. Wonderful technique. I think he's one of the best strikers of the ball in the region, Quang Hai. Look at this. Brilliant effort. I thought that was headed in.
That would have been quite some goal, wouldn't it? And that would have put them right back in this. Beaten. Chachai all ends up. And that is the brilliance of Quang Hai. Tirasin is down.
Ngok Hai again, just going straight through the back.
He's not abreast.
Yeah, no chance to win the ball. Tirasin has got his body position spot on.
Yellow card for Narubadin. Here's Sarachuyan. Back to Kritsada.
There's a lot of work for Vietnam's midfield three at the moment to do now, because of how well Thailand are moving. And again, another mistake here.
Given away to Chanatip. Tirasin trying to turn there. Loses the ball, but it's back with Thailand. Supachok, too much on that pass.
Almost seems like Vietnam, they just need a bit of a reset. They've lost control of the game. They're far too open in midfield at times that when they set up off the ball, it's almost like a 5-3-2. And what Thailand have got, as I said, is that diamond in midfield, so that back four stretches across the pitch, creating that width. That stretches out the front two of Vietnam, and that in turn stretches out that midfield three in behind them, because someone has got to step out from that midfield three to go. Shaking his head there. But Hang-seo, one of that midfield three has got to step out when the ball goes out into those wider positions. And then Tuan An is being left alone, isolated in the middle at times. And that's where Chanatip is getting a little bit of joy from. He's dropping off that Vietnamese defensive line into those midfield areas, and he's able to pick it up in those spaces behind Vietnam's midfield.
Here's Tiraton. Looked to be a foul on him as well from Quang Hai, who now goes into the book. Those cards are racking up, aren't they?
Yeah, they're allowing that frustration to creep into their game, Vietnam. As I said, they need a And Park Hang-seo's on the touchline now. You can see it's a late challenge from Quang Hai. Park Hang-seo is on the touchline now, telling his players to calm down, relax. You know, it's so important that these players also remember that there's a long way to go. There's another game.
Yeah.
You know, don't get yourself sent off. Don't get yourselves suspended unnecessarily, because even though Thailand have scored these 2 goals through that man right there, Chanatip, who has been excellent in this competition. The first one here, defensive error from Hong Zui, and then they get a bit fortunate, but it's a credit to them that were able to get bodies forward very quickly, Thailand, on that counter-attack. But the second one is just brilliant, just pure brilliance. Even the finish is a composed finish. He doesn't smash it into the back of the net, he side foots it past the goalkeeper. A list of top scorers there, Thirasin still leading the way. Chance to add a few more. Chanatip on that list now with his 2 goals.
We've got Irfan Jaya and Iksan Fandi on 3, still alive in this competition as well. Vying for that top scorer award.
You see that space now, you just take your eye off the ball here. Look at that center circle in that midfield. There's a bit of a gap there, and that's where at times it's Chanatip that's either dropping in or Super Chop will be popping up into those spaces. Okay, on this occasion, Thailand decide to go wide on this right-hand side to Narubadin.
They're absolutely delighted, aren't they, these Thai fans at the moment? They're dancing. Look at the fans behind them. It's pretty quiet from the Vietnamese at the moment. They are trying to do what they can now, the Vietnamese, and they've got about 5 or 6 minutes in this first half, first quarter, effectively. Thiraton. Looking again for Thirasin. Here's Quang Hai. Tuanan. Not going to get there, Kong Fuong. Strong from Manuel Beer. This is unfamiliar territory, isn't it, Roshan, for Vietnam at AFF level.
Yeah, it certainly is a strange situation for them to be in.
They didn't go behind at all in the previous tournament, so this is the first time in a long, long time that they are trailing in the AFF Suzuki Cup. And now the crowds, both of them, trying to do their part here. Thirasin. Sarach, look at the space here on the left-hand side for Thiraton. Good run there from Thirasin. Thiraton just holding on. Here is Chanatip. Look at that. And he's furious, Van Tan. He didn't think he did too much wrong. He was waiting and waiting, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's just toying with Van Tan, almost saying, yeah, come on. He slows down, allows Van Tan to catch up with him, and then pushes the ball away. Gets caught a couple of times there. Definitely a foul. The thing that really did it for the referee was him going down. It's almost as if players get punished for staying on their feet at times, and then you wonder why they go down.
Chachai. So Vietnam with 4 attempts so far. Thailand with 3. They've scored 2 of them. Super Chop doing something a little clever. And look at where Chachai is. Oh, there, Chachai pulling down Van Tuan. He goes into the book. He felt he had no other choice. Now there's a yellow card for Van Tan, who's been on a short fuse.
Listen, I don't know what Chai is thinking in that situation.
As he coming out, right?
It's not even just the foul. He goes and handles the ball as well after that. Just have a look at this here. Look, oh, yeah, save it with my hands again. The referee's got his pick of which one he wants to pull him up for. Clear foul, I mean, come on. Van Tuan in that. He doesn't need to be there.
You have less of an issue with the foul itself.
He doesn't need to be there. If he's not there,
he shouldn't have been in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Listen, Van Tuan's going away from goal. There's a defender covering.
So Chai goes into the book. Van Tuan joins him. Quang Hai to take this. It looks like Kritsada got a touch on it. Should be a corner.
Yeah, again, another good delivery from Quang Hai. He really is one of those players who needs to be moving on and playing in a higher level league.
Has been mentioned, hasn't he, quite a bit. As potentially going away. This man has had stints with Kong Kwong. Oh, that Beer took that away, didn't he, from his goalkeeper?
Listen, he's ready now, and he's been ready for, I think, a couple of years, Quang Hai. I love to see him being given a go in somewhere like J1, for example.
Probably going to have a quick word with Chanatip later.
Yeah, can you put in a word,
for me? And talking of which, of course, Roshan, the news came out last week that Tiraton, who served with distinction in the J-League and won the J-League title with Yokohama F. Marinos,
That's right,
is returning to Thailand to play with Buriram. Only Thai player to have won the J1 title. That is a fantastic achievement. And he was first choice there, by the way. Flag stays down. Van Tuan. Oh, he just hesitated, didn't he? Away by Kritsada. Sandwich there, wasn't he, Tirasin? Here's Supachok.
Supachok, another player who I think is ready to be tested elsewhere. Wonderful challenge by Tiraton, that one. Great recovery. Van Tuan is hesitating a little bit with that cross and give Tiraton the opportunity to track back. Wonderful work by Hwang Duk. Strong run from the midfielder.
Still going. Here comes off Beer. They're a bit exposed here. Oh, lovely. Almost a pirouette there from Chanatip. Former MVP, two-time MVP, in fact, Chanatip. Up against Quang Hai, who was the MVP in the last edition. Here's Van Tuan. We have about a minute and a half left in this first half. Into out of time now. Away by Beer. Here's Tirasin, looking up. He's got Supachok in front of him. That's nicely done by Duiman.
Zoyman A bit of pressure from Tirasin again. There's a couple of fouls there. First on Zoiman and then on Tuan An.
Floated in by Quang Hai. Away by Tirasin. Here is Supachok. A little exposed at the back, aren't they, at times, Vietnam. Foul by Supachok, surely, on his opposite number, Bong Hong Dui. They want to get on with it. Vietnam, we've had the 3 minutes. This will be the last action. And it's another breathtaking 45 minutes here at the National Stadium. One in which this man here has been the main story. 2 goals for Chanatip. The recrimination start from Park Hang-seo, but such an entertaining first half, Roshan.
A wonderful first half of football. I think Thailand deserve to go in.
Some Vietnamese fans enjoying the halftime break here, but they won't be enjoying what they're seeing on the pitch. Their team has been outplayed by Thailand in the first half, trailing by 2 goals to 0, and perhaps no surprises, we are seeing some changes as forecast by the man sitting next to me, Vish Roshan Rai. No surprises, they're bringing on an out-and-out striker, Tien Lin. Scored a couple of goals in the last game against Cambodia, Roshan, and you said he brings different qualities to this side.
Yeah, a bit more directness and pace in that forward line. It just needed to freshen things up a little bit. And I think it wasn't quite working in the first half. They just let the game run away from them a little bit.
We can also tell you that Titipan has come on for Tanawat. Tanawat perhaps the quietest in that diamond. Man who plays with Leicester, hasn't had a first-team game yet. Tanawat, but it's Titipan, who replaces him. No discernible change, of course, Roshan, to the shape.
That you come back to that in a bit.
Yeah.
As we see Quang Hai. He's got his ankle tapped by Tirasin. I'm just having a look here to try and see how they set themselves up for this second half. Song Zoi drifts in field.
By Tiraton.
Well, it does look like they will want to push a few bodies further forward.
Tien Lin, flag stays down despite some appeals. Still with Vietnam. Gong Fung. That one is a wild attempt. Statement of intent there, Tien Lin. 7 goals in World Cup qualifying so far.
There's a good run in behind there. There's mobility that they'll bring to their forward line, that pace that I was talking about. And just changing the profile of that attack. With the 2 up front here. Essentially, it's a more attacking midfield setup for Vietnam in this second half. Huang Duc, the number 14. Was accompanied by Tuan An here in the second 45. He'll just be that little midfielder sitting in front of that back line. Oh, it's a poor touch back to the goalkeeper. Nguyen Man quick off his line.
Dicey moment there. They have to come out with something in the second half. Park Hang-seo knows they certainly don't want to be going a few goals down into the second leg if they can help it. No away goals, of course, in this format. Foul on Goduiman. Man has come on. Here's Titipan, Bangkok United player, 40 caps for his country, 28-year-old. There you go, they're fired up now, the Vietnam crowd. There's Tien Lin, away by Titipan. Quang Hai, and there in the way. Here's Tirasin. Foul on Superchok, that's what he's asking. Tirasin. Nothing given. Vietnam reluctantly put the ball out of play. He's had a few challenges on him today, hasn't he, Superchok?
Yeah. Well, Vietnam are here to fight, and so are Thailand. It's a high boot from Zui Man.
Four yellow cards for Vietnam, 3 for Thailand. And just the way this game is going, there could well be more. Tirasin. What there. Sarach goes down, similar pattern to what we saw at the start of the first half. Lovely challenges. So he felt he had to do something, Roshan, at the start of the second half. Wasn't quite working out for him.
Well, yeah, he's made those 2 changes, hasn't he, with Van Dijk and Tien Lin coming in. And the setup is different. They've gone with wanting to have more support in those forward positions. Thinking behind that, having to try and claw at least 1 goal back ahead of the second leg. It was also important for him to just calm them down at half-time. They were getting frustrated, losing their heads a little bit. And a couple of really rough challenges.
Tien Lin, Manuel Beer right on him. There's Tiraton. Kitiwat looking for Sarach. Hongui. Just held on to the ball, didn't he? And he gave it away. Quang Duc. Tan Cho. Vietnam. A little patient, trying to create something though. Bit of space here. Quang Hai. Still Quang Hai. First shot of the second half.
Well worked. We've seen on a couple of occasions Hong Zui early on in the second half, making those runs infield off that left-hand side. Able to find Quang Hai. You know he's going to try and bring it onto his left foot. Quite get over the ball there. Great response from their fans. They were kept quiet by Thailand in the first half.
He will be very happy with this Manu Polking. And he has stuck to his word. They were going to take the game to Vietnam. He didn't care that they were going to face the Vietnamese. And to be fair, Park Hang-seo said, so be it. You can only play what's put in front of you. But certainly now, they're under pressure here, Vietnam. Narubadin looking for Tirasin. Narubadin. Pitiwat. Cannoned away of Beer. And again, Roshan, if this was a one-off match, be a very different sort of feel to this right now, wouldn't it? With about 40-odd minutes to go, as opposed to the first leg.
Yeah, you know, and that always comes into it as well. Again, as I said, going into that break, so important to remember that, yes, you want to get yourselves back into this match to give yourselves a better chance in the second leg. You also don't want a game to run away from you, and you don't want for it to be decided in the first 90 minutes of this tie. Lovely work from Chanatip.
So good to watch from Chanatip there. Titipan can't keep that in, but that just encapsulates what he's all about, Chanatip. Also the recovery when he went down.
Yeah, he's playing,
sprung up.
He's playing at a different level, Chanatip. You know, as I said, coming into this, it's just so comfortable for him. You know, with the way he's been able to just move around, drift around, pick out teammates, score a couple of goals for himself. One fortunate one, the second one was absolutely brilliant bit of play from Thailand. Just gets taken down there, Chanatip.
Well, it's interesting. The players have said that they really like the style of Manu Polking, and they say he's very friendly and explains things in details. We just saw that as well with his coaching staff. He's been in Thailand for quite some time,
yes, he
as
has.
well, Roshan. That's probably helped. There was a lot of talk or eyebrows raised that he's never won a title there, but he understands how things work there. He's also had a stint, by the way, in Vietnam that was far less successful. And that was something was made of that in the media. Here is Chanatip.
Yeah, completely different in Vietnam. Very difficult environment as well. Just remember with the situation around COVID. We'll come back to Manu in a bit as we see Titipan already making a really good impact from midfield. That's what he has in his locker, that capacity to make those runs in behind opposition defenses. But yeah, he's been in Thailand a long time. He was the assistant coach with the national side. He's had a spell as a club coach with Bangkok United. So he'll know these players really well. And what's important as well is foreign coaches, when they come into a new environment, to understand the culture there. And you know, he's spent enough time that you know, I'm sure he's well groomed in what's expected of him, what's expected of his players. He knows a lot about Thai football and how it works. So that's going to help him along.
It says a lot, Roshan. He has never been out of a job for more than a month or so every time he's left the club in Thailand.
It's also important that he has a good backroom staff around him. You know, people he can trust. As Kong Feng. It's replaced by Duk Chin.
Another out-and-out striker, Ha Duk Chin, who made his name at the AFC Under-23 Championships, replacing Kong Feng.
So important for a head coach to have that backroom staff, people he can trust in there, people who are loyal, he knows can deliver. It's good that he's got Wasapon with him as well, one of his assistants.
Yeah, his record at Ho Chi Minh City didn't last very long. 4 wins out of 12, 6 losses. And soon after he lost that job, he was given the Thai national team gig, which is a big, big one for him. As I said, his first statement of intent was that he was going to bring back the AFF Suzuki Cup. Here's Sarach. Talking of statement of intent, by the way, the Thai team rewarded very handsomely for getting through to the semi-finals. They all got iPhone 13s, which was a gift as well from the manager, Walpan Lamsan, who's known as Madam Pang, quite a character as well in Thai football. They also got some Rolex watches, and Madapolkin got all that plus some designer bags. Not bad, eh? That's just to get to the semi-finals. So, looking good here at the moment to get into the finals. Vietnam, by the way, promised 100,000 US if they beat Thailand. So big incentives. This is what the AFF Suzuki Cup means.
Shielding of the ball from Super Chok there, you know, against Tan Chong. But look, it's a huge competition in this part of the world. And we touched on this, I think, at the first match of this tournament, that we were working on together, how the foreign coaches very quickly understand how important this tournament is.
Otherwise, it's bye-bye to you, isn't it?
And as I said, if you win it, you end up winning it, you're an instant hero, and you get time. You get time with the squad. That pressure is immediately off your shoulders. And it means a lot to the players as well, because, as I said, you know, while it's great to be competing at a higher level, playing against likes of Saudi Arabia, Japan, and Australia, and those sorts of teams, it can be very difficult for you mentally as well if you're constantly losing matches. So when they come into a competition like this, they know the level is similar, it's about the same, and so they've got a realistic chance of winning a trophy.
Yeah. So that's what... Sorry.
Motivation levels is going up a notch as well.
So that's what I wanted to ask you about actually in the first half, talking about the mindset. As Thailand pass around confidently, is, do you think in any way it could have been dented, the fact that they've come into this tournament with so much expectation, they've been off the back of 6 straight losses in the World Cup qualifiers. There's a ball up to Narubudin, he won't get there, will he? Is that a foul? He goes down, no foul given. But it is going to be a corner.
It has come off knock high.
We will see a change here for Thailand. And Supachok replaced by Supachai. This has been a common change throughout this tournament. He's had a good first half in particular, didn't he?
Yes, Supachok, I thought was really lively, and times had to ride a couple of heavy challenges. But he's done well, he's done his part. A really good player to be able to bring on as well, Supachai. Again, different option in terms of that profile of player to come on. We saw Supachai score a goal against Singapore at last group stage match.
Kind of made his name in the last AFF Championship. Hasn't really kicked on too much since then. Perhaps this will be another good platform for him. Hasn't nailed down a regular starting place here. Not yet anyway. Still just 23 years of age, just turned 23 a few weeks ago. Now that, as Vietnam come forward here, Quang Duc, Quang Hai, Tien Lin would love the ball, I'm sure, at some point. Doesn't get to him. Yeah, Rushan, the point I was trying to make earlier is they've come in, as I said, with this sort of, they know they're the best team, but they haven't had a good track record coming in, and then they don't finish top of the group. Does that take a bit of a knock on you when you're overwhelmingly expected to finish top?
I think it would have been a bit of a blow to have seen that, you know, you're coming up against Thailand in the semi-finals. At the same time, I think these players are experienced enough, professional enough to know that
shot from distance, flashing across the 6-yard box.
There's no use really feeling pity for yourself. You just got to get on with it, right? And you want to compete against the best teams. You want to win the big titles. You've got to play against quality opposition. You see the shot from Van Tan, going well wide of goal.
We were talking about this as a perfect way to sort of reignite your World Cup qualifiers, in which restart in January. They're playing against Australia. So we thought this would be a great tournament for them, wouldn't it? Vietnam to be involved here, get the win, or at least perform well. Away by Narubadin. Up to Supachai. Kritsada. Here's Tiraton. They'd really like another goal to really nail down the result here in this first leg if they can. Haduk Chin. Quang Hai. Have they really threatened this Thai goal in the second half? Here come Thailand.
Well, they've done really well, Thailand, in the second half to just control the tempo of things, and they've taken the sting out of the game. You know, you can see they've sucked the rhythm out of it almost. First half, wonderful intensity to the play, quick passes, quick touches forward, always looking for those line-breaking passes, those penetrative passes forward. Here in the second half, they're quite happy to just slow it down, sideways, backwards a little bit.
Fantastic game management though, right?
Yeah, really good game management. You know, and again, they don't need to chase it, right? It's Vietnam who, as the clock ticks away, will perhaps start to get a little bit more desperate. Pick and choose your moments. If you're Thailand now, he's sitting pretty.
He's still got a couple changes to make if he wants Park Hang-seo. See if he can influence this first leg. Haduk Chin, good perseverance from the Vietnam forwards. Quang Hai sets himself up. Once again, it's hit the crossbar. The woodwork denying him. Loose ball. And Duk doesn't get there.
He's so unfortunate, Quang Hai. That was wonderful work by Haduk Chin on his left-hand side. Tom Beer was just trying to shepherd it out of play, and he didn't give up on it. The number 18 kept that one alive. You're thinking Beer's favorite for this. But really well done by Duk Chin. And then Quang Hai here, again exquisite. I say he's one of the best technicians in terms of the way he hits the ball in this region. And again there, just really unfortunate. It doesn't quite dip enough to beat the goalkeeper. 2 against the frame of the goal now. First one, the free kick in that first half.
I mean, he could have had 2 spectacular goals. Denied by the frame for the second time in this game. Bit of a chat going on here with some of the Vietnam players, with the staff, as to what they want them to do. And Quang Hai is thinking, what do I need to do to score a goal here today? Kritsada limping off for the moment. Tonight Van Duk away in earlier. But it's something like that can just maybe stir a team and galvanise them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vietnam now, you expect them to have a lot more of the ball, a lot more in terms of the possession there. But let's see if they can open up this Thai defence.
It's just a bit more intensity now from Vietnam. They've got to give it everything in these next 22 minutes. They want to try and get something out of this first leg if they can. Hong Duk. Here's Nok Kai. Just doesn't fall, does it, for Tien Lin?
Change of approach there for Vietnam. Starting to go a little bit longer. He's done well here. Quang Duc.
Pritsada on the way. Bobbling around in the middle. Thailand biding their time for the moment. Here's Thiraton. They don't have to do too much. Try and contain these Vietnamese players. Doing a pretty decent job of it. Remember, it was 2-0 the last time they met. Got plenty of goals here, maybe more to come. Here's Quang Hai, slips the ball in, and Ha Duc Chin is offside.
Yeah, really nice idea. Quang Hai with the reverse pass. Ha Duc Chin. Oh, he's onside. I'm afraid that's not the best call from the assistant referee on their far side.
Very clearly on.
I mean, we get the benefit of a replay, but he's made the wrong decision there. No VAR, of course, and some people out there delighted with no VAR, and you got to live with the fact that there will be mistakes made by the team of officials.
Yesterday being a prime example.
That's right, there should have been a penalty to
Indonesia. Yeah.
Also, there could potentially have been a couple of red cards as well if there was VAR.
For one apiece. Pritsada. Here's Thiraton. He's getting a few problems there from Tien Lin. Phong Hong Dui. It's done well here, Phong Hong Dui. Again, maybe just holding onto the ball a little too long. Dispossessed by Narubadin. Here's Tinasin. Foul on Sarach. The Vietnamese crowd not particularly sympathetic. Star man here for Vietnam, Quang Hai.
I love his technique. Such a sweet left foot. Very unfortunate, both occasions. Off the frame of the goal.
There you go, those were stats. No goals yet, 5 attempts. Passing accuracy, just 57%, but boy, has he had some very good attempts on goal. All these bits of gamesmanship, killing off the momentum perhaps.
Yeah, exactly that, slowing down the rhythm. The tempo of the game makes it frustrating for Vietnam.
Saric is going to come back on shortly. Remember, he has never lost to Thailand at national or under 23 level. Park Hang-seo. And he's going to try and change things up again. Ho Tan Tai is coming on. Corner, meanwhile, up the other end for Thailand. They're also going to make a change here, back to Tiraton. Here's Chanatip. Pitiwat. Oh, again, superb from Chanatip, weaving his way towards the box. Did he just have a little go at Tiraton there?
He's just an artist, isn't he, Chanatip? I mean, that was magical, really. Chanatip, have a look at this. He's playing futsal with his friends.
That's why he gets called Messi J, right?
Yep.
Every country seems to have one of those, but he probably seems to be the closest thing in Southeast Asia. Here's Quang Hai. Is that the right option for him? Narubadin will get there first. And it's a like-for-like change. Van Tan replaced by Ho Tan Tai. Teresa Dungda, replaced by Wanachit. So the man that's just come in there, Wanachit, who was quite the threat against Singapore. 24-year-old, plays for Bijin Pathum United, a number of those players in the squad. His 5th cap today. See, he's quite the handful. And for Vietnam, just told you, Ho Tan Tai, 24-year-old as well, 7th cap. And for Bin Din.
He's left a foot in on Chanatip there as well.
He's a player that's going to draw these fouls, isn't he, Roshan? And that's why he spent so much of last season injured.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so difficult to get the ball off him. And he hangs on to it, drop of the shoulder here, he shimmers and turns away in the other direction. This frustrates you as a defender.
Here's Narubadin. Oh, he's not meant to do that, I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, Warachit was still running as the ball went out of play. He's getting the lines crossed there.
So, Roshan, we spent a lot of time in the second half, particularly looking at Vietnam and what they're trying to do and what they're aiming to get out of this. But what about Thailand? We've talked about some game management here, but by going into a bit of a shell and just trying to contain Vietnam, would there be a school of thought to say, let's try to kill this off?
I think you want to...
You've just got to think about again that second leg.
You know, there's another game to go. You don't want to get carried away and disrespect the opposition, because Vietnam can hurt you. If you overexpose yourselves, you push too many players forward, you're chasing that third goal which you could kill the game off, then you run that risk of Vietnam hitting you on the counter
Which
attack.
is one of their strengths, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's something Mana brought up. You can see now they set up in a 4-1-4-1 off the ball just to protect themselves in midfield. An extra body in there with Warachit on the ball now.
Yeah, Warachit, that was hugely ambitious from him to Titipan. I suppose they're also hoping that Vietnam start committing, don't they? And perhaps try and take advantage of that.
That's what they'll be waiting for. You know, again, you don't need to take chances, don't risk it. Just be patient. Make sure you keep your discipline here. You can just see Pitiwat, the number 16, screening in front of that defense, behind that midfield line of 4 ahead of him. Superchai, the lone frontman. Not going to be pressing too much as well. Thailand, and he's not pressing higher up. But it breaks for Vietnam here.
Oh, they can still be kept alive, perhaps. Narabadin set out to play Pong Hong Dui. Time fast running out here for Vietnam if they want to get something out of this. Quang Hai, what a pass! And that's just wide! For Van Duk. About as good a chance as they've had in the second half.
Really good opportunity for Vietnam. And the warning signs are there for Thailand. If you switch off a bit too much, that's a wonderful ball from Quang Hai. I mean, look at this. His body shape, it's not even ideal for the sort of pass that he plays, but he's somehow able to dig it out and get it into the feet of Van Duk. Right idea from Van Duk. He's looking for the far post. Drags it wide.
Second leg on the 26th of December. Not much time for recovery. And that has been the state of affairs throughout this tournament. But remember, they are very, very well rested, Thailand. Because none of this side played in the game against Singapore. Chantic goes down.
Bit of cramp, you can understand after his efforts in this game, especially this run up the pitch, scores first. Get fortunate with that one. Mistake from Hung Zui. I say to get fortunate, but you know he's made that happen by being in that position, hasn't he? And then this one, where they just cut right through the middle of this Vietnamese side. And a nice composed finish from Chanatip.
Yeah, so the last time any of these guys played was 9 days ago, the Thai side. And there's another coming together. Oh,
is he given a penalty? It looks like he's given a penalty here, the referee.
Wow, that could be a tie-turning decision. And all over. First of all, there was some issues raised. The referee now concern for the players.
Well, the first thing I was looking at was the direction of the ball, and initially in real time, I thought Zoe Man got a touch on that to push it away from Superchai. It's a strong challenge. I know Superchai gets to the ball first. It is a strong challenge from Zoe Man. It's just the replays. I wasn't quite convinced with those replays there. So the referee is obviously in such a great position right there. Superchai gets to the ball first. I think that's a bit harsh, you know.
Yeah. It looked like Superchai going into
I think Zoiman actually gets some contact on it. Just have a look here. Superchai, the first touch is off him, and then Zoiman comes across and makes contact with the ball. And again, when I was seeing it in real time, I thought, yes, it's a hard challenge, but the direction of the ball. And it traveled away.
He definitely got contact on the ball there. Certainly looked like it. The referee has adjudged that to be a penalty, and a chance here for the second hat-trick of this tournament, because Chanatip has grabbed hold of the ball, and this could be a massive, massive moment here in this semi-final overall. It's got to change as well for Vietnam. More on that in a minute. A few words there from one skipper to the other. Chanatip Songkrasin, the leading player in Southeast Asia, with a chance to make this 3-0. Oh, he's gone straight at the goalkeeper. Right down the middle, he didn't move. Winman may have just kept his country in it. And maybe justice is served as well, Wilson.
Yeah, I think a bit of justice there. I was a bit surprised that the penalty was given. I think we were both a bit surprised with our reactions. Listen, if you're a Thai fan, you were thinking it's 100% a penalty. If you're a Vietnamese fan, you're thinking, no, it shouldn't have been a penalty. So you'll feel there was justice there. Make up your own minds.
Well, that is quite unbelievable, really. Chanatip Songkrasin missing the penalty.
It was a poor penalty, though. Straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle.
Good height for the goalkeeper as well. Credit to Nguyen Man. You know, he waited as long as he possibly could, right? He just stood up there. Technically speaking, he's got both feet off his line. But
in the grand scheme of things, he'll point out, well, that shouldn't have been a penalty.
Penalty, yeah.
Again, these are the moments now, the Vietnamese fans trying to urge their team forward in these final minutes of the first leg. Could they go up the other end and score?
A couple of flashpoints in this game, right? Could have been big turning points, that penalty, and one in the first half as well with Chai.
Yes, Superchai. Oh, he looks around, you can see what he was trying to do. Still Superchai. He's done brilliantly here, Superchai. Quang Hai. Lovely return ball to Tien Lin. Quang Hai brought down. And there will be yet another booking.
Yeah, wonderful work by Quang Hai. Lovely feet. Those tight spaces. It's taken out late there by Kritsada.
There's going to be a change here for Thailand. Double change, in fact. And the man who scored the 2 goals perhaps missed what should have been his hat-trick. Chanatip goes off, but he has played his part tonight. So Wiratep will get a few minutes here. So Narabadin also goes off like-for-like change with Tristan Do, of Vietnamese heritage, in fact, as well. Part Vietnamese heritage.
That was interesting for me as well with the penalty, in terms of Chanatip taking it, looking for his hat-trick. I wonder if Tiraton perhaps should have stepped up to take that one, but everything's easier after the fact, right?
That's a poor pass from Tristan Do.
Well, just going back to those potential key moments in the match, and I think back to Chachai coming way off his line in the first half on Van Tuan, and getting away with the yellow card, with just a yellow card there. And I think the reasoning behind that is the referee perhaps would have seen that and thought that is not denial of goal scoring opportunity. He was running away from goal. There was still distance. There was a covering defender, so I think perhaps that's why the referee decided not to send him off. Of course, the other side to it is you could say it was a professional foul. He should have seen red. Different referee on another day, perhaps.
A lot of work to do here for Tien Lin. Tristan Do covering is still pretty quick, isn't he? He's done well. Years of age now, Tristan Do, 40-odd caps, plays for Bangkok United, born in France. His paternal grandfather, Vietnamese. It was a special moment to play against Vietnam. Into the 90th minute. Such a different story, this semi-final, to the first one between Indonesia and Singapore, as we see Zoe Man going off. He's change, wasn't he?
That's a blow to Vietnam. Let's hope he's not too seriously injured ahead of second leg.
Quang Hai just trying to arrow that in, wasn't he, to Van Duk. Zoe Man has been taken off for Ham Chuan Man. 25-year-old, just his second cap for his country. They've got Bui Tien Dung. They'll be hoping to bring him back as well for the next leg if Zoe Man doesn't make it. 4 minutes of added time. Kritsada. Here's Tiraton. So for the Vietnamese fans out there, Roshan, what crumbs of comfort can you give them ahead of the next leg?
There's the next leg coming up.
Precisely that.
There's another game coming up, you know, and 2-0. It's not, you know, if that penalty had gone in 3-0, I think it would have been really difficult. Not impossible. Yeah. But you know, I think they still have got an opportunity here of turning it around in the second leg.
Warachip won't get there. And for Thailand and their fans tonight, they'll be pretty happy with a good job done.
They'll be delighted, I think, with the way Thailand have performed. I think more so in the first half. Second half, I think they were in game management mode. We've seen them give Vietnam a little bit more of the ball. They've set back a bit more, and with the tempo of their passing and the play and the direction of the passing has changed. They've not tried to get it forward quickly. You know, they've looked to try and play it sideways, backwards a little bit more, just to slow it down, kill the rhythm of the game. And I think Vietnamese fans will be encouraged at the fact that they've been able to still create a couple of opportunities through this man, Quang Hai.
Well, he's still going strong, isn't he? Quang Hai bundled over. Half-hearted appeals for a penalty, not going to be given. Here's Nok Hai. Minute and a half or so left in this. They're asking for handball. Oh, that one they really did go up for. And the referee emphatic in his denial. Punch away by Chachai. He's off his line, and Quang Hai smashes that well over. And now the questions being asked of the referee.
Beer has gone down as well. Here it's Quang Hai, looks to play it in again. It's not this one. Well, this is the first one where he dives. I think this is just a dive and attempt to try and win a penalty. The second one, the handball one, is little bit more interesting for me. And he's concerned that Wiratep, his arms up there, he's trying to clear the ball. It's one of those unfortunate ones. I think that's this decision made by the referee in that. I guess he's thinking, well, I don't think he's really trying to block it with his hand. Have we seen those given in the world of football? Perhaps we have.
Listen, Roshan, I think that's the problem, isn't it, with the handball?
The inconsistencies behind it. I think it's made it very difficult. And there's never sort of been any real clarity around it.
Natural, unnatural. Oh, it's a minefield, isn't it? But you can see why the Vietnamese felt the way they did.
Absolutely.
That should be straightforward for Chachai. And that should well be it. Mir falls on his goalkeeper. It's hugs all round, but they haven't won it yet. They have, though, been victorious in the first leg, and that first half was absolutely superb to watch, wasn't it?
Wonderful, wonderful game of football. I think overall, the first half especially, quality from Thailand, and the game